Planning Board meeting, June 17th. We're going to start with Buzz Chew, which is top of the agenda. I'd like to start by closing the public hearing on this. So a motion to close the public hearing on Buzz Chew. Second here, all in favor? Aye. So the public hearing is closed. I would like to vote, okay, because I know everyone's reviewed this and everyone's seen it. Just a couple of questions that were unclear to us on the site plan. Two questions. One, on the east side of the site plan, there were cones, but the cones did not go all the way to the building. They did not close off the porte cochere. Is that just a drafting mistake? So there's still access on your right side. Sorry, the other side.
This side?
Yeah. See the cones just go.
Rudy, if you can just grab the mic.
You know what? I have a picture of it, which I think will show you better. So this is what. So this is what's happening there now. Those are the barriers, and it runs from the porte cochere over to those parking spaces.
So the question is, can someone drive in from 39, head south, okay, and then take a quick right there to come in under the porte cochere the other way?
Well, there's always vehicles in the porte cochere, so you
so
can't
it's
get
blocked.
Through. It's
you
blocked,
cannot
yeah,
get through.
correct.
So that is blocked off.
Yes.
Okay, so you don't need cones there because there's a vehicle blocking access.
Correct.
So that was okay. So that clears up one thing. And then the second question we had is how frequently for the dumpsters that are there on the
It's once a week.
Just once a week.
Once a week.
Okay, that's good. Any other questions? Any board members? Any clarifications?
No.
All good? All right. So, John, do you want to hit the high level points in that, and then we'll make a motion to vote on the site plan?
Absolutely. So the exercise today is the approval of the site plan, and by nature through the village code, it works in a conditional manner. So we're passing a written approval, which you all have a copy of, which incorporates by reference the site plan drawing C1, last dated June 3rd of 2024. And within 45 days of the adoption of this written resolution, the applicant has to, or the following conditions have to be met. First, we need to receive a letter of local determination or a satisfactory response from the Office of the Suffolk County Planning Commission. I'm of the impression that that's not a high bar, particularly because this is not a substantial disruption or reconfiguring of the site. A copy of the physical site plan will be resubmitted to this board with the statement from Village Code Section 11638D11 placed thereon, which the applicant will have to sign. I'm sure, Mr. McGomartin, you're familiar with that process. The applicant will sign that statement to the effect that he will abide by the conditions of the site plan. The owner shall also file a notarized affidavit indicating compliance or their intended compliance with the conditions of the site plan approval. Also within 45 days, the owner shall provide an amended declaration of covenants and restrictions, which amends the year 2000 covenants and restrictions at section 8.2 to the extent that deliveries of parts and materials are permitted between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Mondays through Saturdays, provided only that such deliveries are restricted to the front of the building as delineated on the site plan, and amending section 8.6 of the year 2000 covenants to restrict the pickup of solid waste and recycling materials to the times between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m.
10 a.m.
Monday.
10 a.m.
After 10 a.m. and before 6 p.m. Is that correct?
Yes.
On Mondays through Fridays. So those are the conditions which need to be completed within 45 days. If they're not completed within 45 days, this site plan approval is null and void. We can begin the process again. I'm sure Mr. Gilmartin will get us the required documents within 45 days. So by nature, if it's conditional approval, I know that we're voting on it tonight, but these are the items that need to be addressed.
Okay. So is there a motion to approve the site plan as proposed?
So moved.
So move second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All, any opposed? No. Okay. So, That's buzzed you.
Thank you, Mr. Warren.
Okay.
Fill one.
Um,
We're gonna fill one out at some point.
yeah, I'm gonna push that to the end so I can
Yeah,
stay
there
at
we
the end. RRFACF was on the agenda tonight. They've asked for an adjournment to our next meeting. Does anyone on the board have any questions or want to discuss any issue? So we're going to just punt it to the next meeting, okay? Next on the agenda would be 54 North Main. I'm recusing myself from that because of a potential conflict. So we'll move that to the very end, so I only have to step out once. So we'll come back to that. Next on the agenda would be 74 White Street. Is there anyone here from 74 representing 74 White Street? If not, we'll a motion.
Alex, is that being held up for plumbing? What's the,
Yeah.
I believe the applicant is working on getting his approvals from the Suffolk County Department of Health for
Okay.
wastewater.
Yeah.
I understand that process can take some time.
oh, yeah.
So then we'll just make a motion to adjourn that to the next meeting. Is that good?
Sure.
Yeah.
And if we hear any correspondence from the applicant in the meantime, we'll distribute that to the board
Okay,
members.
perfect. So,
Adjourned to July 15.
You want to adjourn?
It says this, Brian Kelly's different.
Right here. This one. We're on this one.
This White Street, yeah, sorry.
So you're okay with the first, July 1st? I think is the next meeting.
Yeah, I'll move that we delay, in light of the information, we delay this.
Yeah.
this
So motion to adjourn that to our next
July-
meeting.
yeah.
All in favor?
On July 1st.
July 1st.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Aye. Okay. 36 Windmill Lane Shippies. So we've determined that the application has been deemed complete. All our comments were addressed, so we're good to go there. I think that we want to hear from you, if you'd like.
No, I'm not interrupting. Just here if you have any questions.
Any questions on Shippies? Right?
We were hoping that you would be able to waive the public hearing.
So,
And Lisa, just introduce yourself again for the record.
Lisa Zaloga, the architect for the applicant.
yeah.
Thank you.
Lisa, I did some homework on this one and did some research. It's very unusual to waive a public hearing. The only time I'm advised that they're really waived is sort of for internal village matters. So I don't think it's advisable to waive the public hearing
Okay.
for this, even though everyone knows what's going on there.
There's another article in the paper.
Yeah. Does any board members have any questions on whether we want to waive, or difference of opinion on waiving a public hearing or not? Nope. Okay, so I think that the view of the planning board is that there should be a public hearing for this, and I know there's the notice period, but we're not in a position to waive, nor are we willing to create a precedent for an application like this where we're going to waive public hearings. So unfortunately, we can't, or we won't waive a public hearing. So we need to schedule a hearing. I think with notices, the first hearing you could really make would be July 15th, correct? Yeah. So,
It's the 15th.
yeah, so, I don't think there's enough time to notice everyone for the July 1st meeting, so it would have to be the 15th. I apologize about that. But, that's the best we could do. We did do our homework on this and looked to see if there was a way, but there's not. So unfortunately, we're going to have to, we can schedule it for the 15th,
Okay.
July
And
15th.
assuming that there's no negative public comment, will you be able to close it that night and send us merrily on our way? Because we now have our architectural review board approval, we have our zoning board approval, we have.
I understood. Look, we
everything else.
want to be as helpful as we possibly can, but still adhere to the process. So we will work to close that as quickly as possible. I have no idea what comments are going to come up at the hearing or what
Right,
issues
right,
are
no,
gonna be, but
obviously, but
but we will do our best to move this along as quickly as possible and still follow all the the rules and guidelines.
okay.
Okay, so I don't see why we couldn't
Maybe they'll all show up.
Yeah, so you never know what's gonna happen, but I think we can meet your.
Well, John will be very
request.
disappointed.
Yeah. So apologize, but that's the best we can do.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, is there anything else that you need tonight?
Any other comments, questions on this one? Okay, yeah, no, that's
Okay.
So what was our date on that?
July 15th.
15th?
John, do we need a board resolution to schedule the public hearing?
Yes, well, we can walk that on if you just like to do
Yeah,
motions.
I'll move that we schedule a public hearing for Shippies on the 15th of July.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
So Lisa,
Lisa,
we'll
there's-
prepare the notice and we'll send that out as soon as possible for the mailing and the posters. So we'll get you on your way.
Hey, Lisa, when you go out there, there's a car parked behind Shippies with the rear end almost closing the road. He's
Can you go yell at him?
yeah. I hope it's not a friend of
Wasn't
his.
me, but I'll
No,
go
no,
yell at
There
somebody.
are two cars jammed. It's one way.
All right. Hold me to it.
Tell the guy, give him a drink and move his car.
All right, I will. Good night.
So I don't think there's anything else on the agenda or no one else here other than 54 North Main, so I'm gonna excuse.
43 and 51 Hill Street, public hearings have been scheduled for July 1st. So I think since there's no one here, unless the board has any questions before then, those can be adjourned to their public hearing.
And do we need a motion for that? Or
I
since-
think because on the agenda, it's a good idea to adjourn it to the next meeting.
Okay, so motion to adjourn 43 and 51 Hill Street to the July 1st meeting. Right? Second, all in
Second.
favor? Yep, aye. Okay.
Yep.
All right, I will step out and 54
Okay, this is back to
North Main.
which one? North Main. 54 North Main. And there's a resolution. Mr. Borkman, don't we have a?
Resolution here, yes.
So we have in front of you, all
Yeah,
should
we
have a copy.
resolution.
3-page sketch plan approval. This is planning board file 2200. So in short, I know we've all seen this this plan before, or some of the board members here have seen this before. So this resolution simply approves a sketch plan, which I know, as we've discussed in several contexts, is an agreement as the general concept of a subdivision layout. This particular subdivision will need relief from the Zoning Board of Appeals. So at page 2, around the center of the page, the three conditions, I'm sorry. Applicant shall apply for and receive a variance from the Zoning Board of Appeals for all relief needed to effectuate the flag lot concept. The final subdivision application will adhere to the flag lot concept, and the applicant shall obtain approval of the proposed 2-lot subdivision from the Suffolk County Department of Health Services. So incorporated by reference as the flag lot concept is the last dated plans. Where do I have it here?
May 31st.
May 31st, 2024. That's the
Yeah.
correct, the last date, right? By Squires, Holden, Weisenbacher, and Smith. So to summarize, this is a sketch plan approval with 3 conditions for the flag lot concept rather than the easement concept.
Thank you, board members. Liz Bailey, member in charge. 2317 Montauk Highway, Bridgehampton, for the applicant. I did just want to thank the board for this resolution once you pass it. And then also, I think at the last board meeting, we discussed a possible resolution supporting the ZBA application or a memorandum of some sort, or a letter from the board indicating some support for the variances, since considering what happened at the last time at ZBA. I just thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Al.
Yeah.
Okay, I did a draft of a letter going around, so we will
Oh,
have a
great.
letter. So,
Thank you so
but
much.
it's not been approved yet. So.
Okay, thank you, board member.
It'll go shortly.
Okay, great.
It needs to be reviewed.
Thank you.
We can entertain a motion that this be approved. Seconded?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
4 in favors. It'll be so noted. Thank you.
So just housekeeping items would be next. So we have minutes from May 6th that we need to approve. I'd like to make a motion to approve the May 6th meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Yep.
Aye. What about the May 20th minutes?
June,
Talk to
we
Anthony.
never meet on May 20th, June 3rd.
So there was a May 6th, not, the next meeting was not until, we missed that. Okay, so June 3rd, and I haven't seen June 3rd minutes. Have you
I
guys
think
seen
it may be on my computer.
I don't think I've seen it.
I haven't seen
them? I haven't seen them, so we'll just approve the May 6th and we'll wait to circulate the June 3rd minutes. Any other items? Any other questions? Anything anyone wants to discuss?
Just make sure that we all fill out on the back page or the last page of both of those
I
resolutions
signed that.
the roll call for the vote, and Chair London, if you could sign on the back right or the right hand side. Sorry,
Of which one?
both of them.
Of North Main Street?
As the chairman,
I'm recused. What am I signing?
I've signed it. Acting chairman, he was recused.
Yeah, he signed it. Okay.
And we'll have those filed with the village clerk
Hopefully I
tomorrow.
won't land you in jail.
if you could give me a scan of
If
those.
it does,
Yes.
if
We'll
it
sure.
does, you know,
We'll wake you
Bring
up.
us some back.
And then I'll just note the next meetings are Monday, July 1st and Monday, July 15th. We have public hearings scheduled for both of those meetings. So just as a reminder to the board, so hopefully we'll have a quorum for both.
So
I'll
you're
be
not
out
here-
of town, but I can dial in.
Okay.
We do have new rules. Does anyone actually have copies that we can do participation by video conference now? I'll look into the rules for that, but the rules did change recently.
Yep.
I'm not sure if anyone else is aware of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's adopted into village code, and we
We're all
can
good on
provide
that?
that to the board members. Yeah, there's certain criteria that have to be met.
Right, but everyone else is here, right?
Great, and
First.
so as long as we have 4 in the room, we'll still have
Yeah,
quorum.
so we're good.
I read about it in the always unreliable local newspaper.
If there's nothing else, motion to adjourn. Any other business?
So moved.
Motion to adjourn, second, all in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That was, look at that.
so quick.